Hi guys, Adam here, and this might just be my new favourite portable laptop. This is the ASUS Zenbook S13 OLED, and when ASUS reached out to sponsor this first look video, I was like, yes, I like the look of what I'm seeing from the product information sheets, etc, but when it actually dropped here on my desk in the studio, that interest peaked to a whole new level. Firstly, for its design and build quality, I mean, just look at it. It's incredibly stylish. All metal chassis, and it has this really unique crisscross lines across the lid material, which is plasma ceramic aluminium exclusive to ASUS. And get this, it's actually fine-tuned using temperature and electricity to get this actual texture. And no two lids are the same. Every single one is slightly different, which I think is mind-blowing. As is my voice. As you can tell, my throat is a little bit weird. I sound like an AI version of me. But if you combine that stylish lid with the aluminium alloy underbelly, it makes for this lovely matte finish in this basil grey colouring. Excellent for keeping away those grubby fingerprints, and it's also available in Ponder Blue. But the thing that strikes you is just how ridiculously thin and light this is. It's 1 centimetre thin, as you can see, and it's just 1 kilogram in weight, which makes it one of, if not the most powerful portable laptop I've ever used. And it's been constructed using recycled metals and plastics, using eco-conscious packaging, and thus reducing the carbon footprint by more than 50%, making it the most eco-friendly Zenbook ever made also. One hand lid test. Slipped a little bit, but not too bad. 8 out of 10. But it does open 180 degrees and has a special hinge which lifts the laptop base off the surface when open, helping the 0.5mm thinner fans work their magic even better on the thermals, keeping the machine cool for optimum performance. Now the keyboard deck is magnesium aluminium alloy, and the backlit keys have just a 1.1mm travel, so they are pretty quiet and comfortable to type on. And there's an extremely thin layer of glass covering the ErgoSense touchpad, which is 9.5% larger in area compared to the previous model, nice and big for a 13.3-inch laptop size. And while it's not the most premium feeling I've tested on all laptops, it does have a really nice click to it and is nice and responsive with multi-touch gesture support for Windows, so you can use 3 or 4 finger shortcuts to launch frequently used applications or functions. And apparently, even after more than 10,000 swipes on the touchpad, it should feel as smooth as when you first open the packaging, thanks to that PVD anti-fingerprint coating. And then you'll notice this little guy right here, the Intel Evo i7. As considering how thin and light this is, the S13 OLED is sporting quite the internal hardware, with up to a 10-core, 13th gen Intel Core i7 processor, 32GB of onboard LPDDR5 memory, and a 1TB SSD. Help give this a 20% performance boost from the previous gen. And being an Intel Evo certified laptop, this promises to include instant wake up, which is pretty instant, a faster Wi-Fi connection, dual-band Wi-Fi 6E, and long battery life, 14 plus hours with the inbuilt 63 watt-hour battery. And yes, it will vary drastically depending on what you're doing with it, but I think that number comes from video playback, which you can do on this beautiful OLED display. 16:10 ratio, 13.3 inch, 2.8K, ASUS Lumina OLED HDR NanoEdge display. A lot of words. It's good though. But this new display name refers to this new panel technology that not only promises everything we've come to expect from OLED, like high contrast ratios and wider color ranges than LCDs, for example, but it's also apparently more accurate, more adaptive, and more reliable. And although I haven't tested it long enough to confirm or deny some of those statements, there is no denying it looks pretty darn good indeed. ASUS, known for their expertise in gaming devices, have given you a laptop display here with a super fast 0.2 millisecond response time for low latency gameplay and smoother scrolling, 60% higher color volume, so great colors at all brightness levels, and a 550 nits peak brightness, which is really nice and bright in indoor environments and certainly usable outdoors. Yes, in direct sunlight, it's not going to give you the same brightness levels as a modern flagship smartphone, for example, that can be 1,000 plus. But a lot of the latest premium laptops are around this sort of figure, including my MacBook Pro, which is 500. So actually, less. Now on top of that, 70% less blue light than standard LCDs, Dolby Vision, a 100% DCI-P3 color gamut, and Tuvrilen Eye Care and VESA Display HDR True Black certifications. It certainly is fully stacked, as are my mouth and your ears with nerdy techie words. So let's tone that down a little bit now. Also, one important thing to mention is that ASUS are actually offering a free OLED screen repair in the form of an exchange if you do have any OLED burn-in issues. ASUS have also been able to embed a thinner 1080p camera directly into the lid, all while making the lid 30% thinner than the previous gen. And yes, the camera is not 4K, it's not going to blow people away with its performance, but it is still Full HD 1080p, which is nice to see. A lot of laptops, again, my MacBook Pro, 720p still in 2023. I know, can't believe it. But as you can see, it does a job and looks pretty decent. Fairly accurate colours, decent exposure, and the voice quality, as you can see, is pretty okay too. Video calls and meetings are also absolutely fine, especially with the My ASUS software, which allows you to choose between different lighting settings, background blurring, eye and motion tracking effects, and with the clear voice speaker function, the laptop filters out some of that ambient sound you may have in the background and identifies and enhances your actual voice slightly, hopefully making it sound clearer. But how about a speaker test? Oh, yeah, they're not the loudest I've heard on a laptop, but again, for the actual size of laptop we're talking about here, nice and clear. Decent. It also offers 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, an HDMI 2.1, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A, and an audio jack. So you could connect to an external 4K display, for example, if you wanted to. And you can actually charge the laptop through the Type-C ports as well. And the box comes with this 65-watt fast charger. So not a full house of ports. I would like to see an SD card slot. I always do on laptops, but that's just me as a creator. That kind of helps. But outside of that, a pretty full deck, pretty well catered for, especially for, again, the size. And that's what we're kind of up to now and the rest of the software. Are you a Windows fan? And do you want the little ASUS tweaks, like My ASUS, for example, that is exclusive for ASUS laptops and is a section that contains all of the important ASUS apps for system controls in one place, things like system diagnosis, which checks your hardware if problems occur and can automatically identify potential causes, and a customization section which gives you access to battery care mode, your fan profile where you can change the speeds if you want it to be quieter, for example, and speaker and display settings as well to get the best out of your laptop and maintain its longevity. And you also have this Glide X feature which can give you a great option to pair with a smartphone, transfer photos, videos, files, documents, and make you have a chance of having a larger screen, the screen mirroring aspect to it as well. And you can make and receive calls on your Zenbook as well. So all in all, I don't know why I just hit the laptop. That's a bit disrespectful. I do apologise, my lovely little Zenbook. I won't do that again. So going back to what I said at the start, I actually think this might be my new favourite portable laptop. I'm definitely going to be using it when going away. I can chuck it in a bag. Absolutely, like an absolute breeze. It's stylish. It looks the part. It's powerful enough for what I need it for. Loads of browser tabs, office documents, emails, watching content, a little bit of gaming. If that's what you're up for, definitely one to consider. Follow me on my other social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. ASB Official on all of them for more short form content and conversation. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this. My name's Adam. You've been the best as always. I love you, leave you. I'll see you in the next one. So SBYT, peace out.